That's the question.
That's
the question she asked is there anything that I need to know about?
We had a good time.
What is there that she needs to know there?
This simple Simon behaviour.
I'm just moving on because I don't want to justify anything like that, man. Okay.
You ain't, but he does pose a very good question.
Can I just ask a question?
Hold on, is that a very good question? Really? That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Why should a woman know that her dad is cheating on her mum?
Yeah.
Only Nigerians can say this, you know. I'm saying this. Only a Nigerian can ask that question. Why should she know? Why should she know? Why should she know?
Is it her business?
Okay, would you want to know? If your missus caught your dad sleeping around on the outside and said to your missus, shh, don't tell. Would you want to know?
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents, and other small insects, welcome to the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. This is episode number 16. I'm Stavros Boss, the host, and in the room with me we have DJ Webslinger.
It's good, people. A man can tell 1,000 lies. I learned my lesson well. Hope I live to tell the secret I have learned. Till then, it'll burn inside of me. Episode 16, the sex was obscene.
We have Big Wahala.
What's good, people? Big Wahala's in the building. Blessings.
We have Simple Simon.
I don't like black people.
That's acceptable.
And it's been that way since the 80s.
Since the 80s.
And we have Mr. Wolf.
Yes, people, what's going on? Not good to be here. Very tired. Web.
Yeah.
What was that tune?
That was Madonna, Live to Tell.
Last few tunes you sung, nobody knows, man. Come on.
You know what? You
I knew this one.
I didn't know this one.
Last week's one, I was a bit. I didn't
How
know.
did you not know Curiosity Killed the Cat? You were
No, I know. Curiosity Killed the Cat, but I don't know that song. I know the.
You don't know Misfits? Wow.
No,
I'm waiting for you to sing.
That's
Uptown Girl. Feel living in the.
I really want
be
you.
next week.
I want you to sing like the proper classics. That one you did was all slow ballad. I don't want them slow ones, man.
Madonna is a classic 80s pop icon.
Ban Madonna, she's a child snatcher.
Yeah, she is a child snatcher, but I'm not talking about...
Taking them children to
I'm
the
not talking about
sunken
her
place.
present works.
You know, man, some organ business she's going on with.
Madonna, get out.
Who was it that you said died the other day? Did we say it on the actual podcast or was it after? It's getting blurred in my head now.
It was, oh my God.
Rothschild. Was it on the podcast or was it after?
It was
Rockefeller.
Two generations, isn't it? One was the Rockefeller dude, and then I think it was either his grandson or his son died as well.
No, it's
Is
the
that
Rothschild,
so?
man. It wasn't Rockefeller. Rothschild.
Which one of them has had the 9 heart
Wasn't it
transplants?
Buffett that died?
No, Buffett's still dead.
No, man.
Kicking it.
Buffett,
still
we're,
dead, or is
Buffett,
he
we're
still
cool.
kicking it?
He's like number 3 richest person.
Rothschild.
Can you imagine? Anyways, all right, let's get down to the
It's all white people anyway.
Who else died, though?
It's true. Not saying anything.
The black guy, the black activist, the UK guy. I forget his name. I can't
Darkest
Oh,
Howl.
Darkest Howl.
Darkest Howl. rest
Salute.
in peace.
Okay,
And
yeah.
Charlie Murphy.
All right, before we get into the
Salute.
to
Charlie
the,
Murphy, man.
to the guts of this thing, let's give a little RIP out to Darkest. Sorry, what's his surname?
Darkest Howl.
Darkest Howl.
Darkest Howl.
The Devil's
AKA
Advocate.
The Devil's
Yes.
Advocate.
Yes. And
Charlie
Charlie
Murphy.
Murphy.
Charlie Murphy.
Yeah, who passed this since we last recorded our last episode.
Charlie Murphy, man.
Habitual line stepper.
TV history, Charlie Murphy, right there, boy. TV
For
history.
real.
So yeah, big them guys up.
Wrong.
All right, let's get into it. We got a question from a Griff. And
From a Griff?
Yes, it's a Griff.
What, as in like the
Random Griff.
a Griffalo.
Yeah, so Mr. Griffalo has sent us a question. All right, it's a very long one. So if you're listening, Griff, I'm going to shorten it because this is long. It's going to take up 2 minutes. Basically, you're on a stag and you're there with a bunch of people, but you're also there with your father-in-law. All right, so there's your guys, so imagine us lot, and then there's an older set of people as well.
What the
And
hell is he doing on a stag?
it happens.
Yeah, it happens, man.
Right, it
Family
happens.
goes to stag all the time.
Yeah, man.
Jeez. Okay, cool.
So anyways, that's there. You've never really got on too tough with this, Dad. No beef.
More
Yeah.
reason why I shouldn't be there.
Yeah, it's no beef, but you just haven't clicked. But with the mother-in-law that you've clicked really well with, but the father-in-law is just so-so. All right, so now you're on this stag, and during the stag, you're in a strip club or some sort of establishment, and a woman who apparently is a 9.5 out of 10 in your whatever your
Should I just
individual
end this
opinion
question easily? Just buy him a lap dance and done.
You don't even know what the question is. Go on.
See?
Whatever your opinion of a 10 is, this woman is a 9.5. All right. Simple. I know it's meant for you, so whatever on your thing as well. So what happens is this woman is on your case. She's trying it, and you reject her. You say, "Listen, I'm getting married. I love my wife. You know, my future wife. I don't want nothing to do with it." And this is in a private area, totally secluded. Now, for some reason, this father-in-law has been snooping on you, I guess, and he sees that you just rejected this person. Now he comes up to you, shakes your hand, and says, "You know, I really respect that. That woman was gorgeous, and you know, I'm seeing you in a new light now. Great stuff. Thumbs up." And all of a sudden, the two of you getting on jiggy. Now, the next night or whatever, similar thing happens. You're going out again, still partying, all rollicking, and this same 9.5 woman, whilst you're walking back into the hotel, you see your father-in-law with her in the stairwell getting jiggy,
Giving it some. Giving it some.
Wow.
That was too much excitement, innit?
Yeah. So,
Leg on shoulder on the
Is
staircase.
the father-in-law still married to his future wife's mother?
yes, they have a wonderful relationship as far as you see it. You love the
Wow.
mother. You love the mother-in-law. You love your wife. It's all happy families all over the place. Everything is happy families.
So what's the question?
All right. Do you? All right. So, apparently, actually, he sees you as well, and he says to you, "I won't say anything if you don't." Wink. All right. Do you tell your fiance? Do you blackmail him, or do you ask for first go on the night, or do you have to go
First
first on this chick?
Wow. Wow.
Because that is an option. You can
This-
say, well, if
Can you battery with your father-in-law though? Can you do that? Can man battery with their
Do you know
father-in-law?
what?
Some
I
people
think
do it.
I think this has actually happened
Of course it's happened.
to maybe the guy that posted the question or gave us the question.
Why do you think that?
Nah,
I don't know.
No, man, but this happens.
Well,
This
maybe
happens.
somebody that he knows of. This can't be just a regular story.
I've known of people that have been friends with their partner's sister and brother, and they cheat together. Not literally, like he knows that they cheat. The other person knows that they cheat. Not necessarily the dad, but definitely brothers, and they know, or cousins at least, and they know, and it's just that they just do it. This is how it is, because they just think that cheating is cool.
Now, I don't know if I broke a man code with this, but my wife brought up a situation. I can't remember why she brought it up, but it was something along
you
the lines
know
of.
that you built the man code.
Yeah, I don't care anyways. I don't care.
Just put it straight.
She brought up that men won't necessarily. Somebody said men cheat on stags, and she thought that for some reason my wife thought men didn't cheat on stags, and I'm like, of course they cheat on stags, and she's like, no, why would he cheat on stags? I said that's the most time men cheat. I said even people that are not even the stag go on the stag and cheat. go to cheat. It's- everybody just cheats on the stag for some reason. Am I breaking man code?
I think that's common knowledge. I didn't think that any person. The whole point of them talking about the strippers and the night before and the freedom, even women cheat on stags. Like, that's a standard. Like women will cheat on a stag,
Hen nights.
or a
hen,
nights.
whatever. They cheat all the time.
Well, the idea is it's supposed to be your last night of freedom, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like you're supposed to go out and do what you need to do,
Which is a
before
weird-
you get married.
Which is a weird psychology anyway,
Madness.
because
Why is it weird?
Well, you're saying it's your last night of freedom, which is suggesting that your marriage is bondage.
It's imprisonment.
Key and chain.
So do you find to be
in,
imprisoned?
in one of my wedding rings, it says, I'm what does it say? I'm
bound
the
to
chain
you.
or something, and she's the. What did they say? The ball and chain. Yeah. So my wife's ring says like he's
I'm
the
the
ball,
ball.
and mine says she's the chain.
Do you feel imprisoned in your marriage?
No, man.
Well, then that's what.
Yeah, but it's a joke, isn't it? Me and my wife.
yeah, but this is not a
thing.
joke, is it? They're meant to say it's your last day of freedom. It's like a traditional thing. That this is your
Anyway,
last day of
let's get
freedom.
back to the question.
It's like Django.
What are you guys gonna do? Are you snitching? Are you keeping it to yourself, or are you taking turns to bang the woman first?
Oh, Wilder's not banking for sure.
All right.
Boy, this is the problem, yeah? This is where my thing is. My loyalty is to my fiance before anyone else, isn't it? Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So I will probably tell my fiance.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't want any of this to come back. Listen, I'm selfish. I don't want any of this to come back on me. When they find out what happened, and then the first thing she's coming to come and ruin my life because I didn't tell her. What do you want? I'm telling her, man, straight. Your dad was banking.
But then what if that breaks down the family?
Then I destroyed the family
You've destroyed
because I'm not having it. I'm not having it.
Wahala, the destroyer.
No, man. Listen.
Is that your
Listen.
family? No, it's not.
If it was
it's not.
if it was the other way round,
Not
if it was the
anymore.
other way round, I would want her to tell me. So I would tell her.
smash.
Whether or not she wants to go and tell her mum, that's her decision to make. Do you know what I mean? That's her decision to make. But if it's come to the family thing, I'll tell my fiance, boy, I'm not involved in this type of palaver, because as I said, when this all comes to light, because these things always come to light somehow, I don't understand why they'll come to light, and then suddenly the first thing she's gonna say is, you was on the stag with my dad, didn't you? And I guarantee you, as soon as everybody finds out that that's snitching on you, the dad is snitching on you straight. While I knew. That's the first thing you're going to do, just to try and get himself out of trouble. So before that happens, I'm snitching first. So I'm telling my missus, I say, look, boy, I came to the stairway and I saw your dad banging. It traumatized me. I don't feel happy about it. We can still go there for Christmas. but I'm telling you now, so you know what happened. I don't want this palaver to come back on me.
Mr. Wolf?
I think that's the right thing to do, is to tell your fiance, in the grand scheme of things, I think I co-sign what Halle is saying. However, I don't think that these things always come out. I don't think they always come out.
They don't.
And if the guy is doing that with this 9 out of 10, I'm going to assume that that's not the first time that he's cheated on his wife. And perhaps his wife may know about his indiscretions, or she may not know. But either way, the guy is a cheater, isn't it? So I would... I'm not sure. I have to say, I'm not sure. I've said that I would tell my fiance, but at the same time, I don't think that the comeback on me, if my future mother-in-law finds out, is going to be as harsh as it would be if she actually found out that her husband was cheating. She'll be upset with me, but I'm sure that she would have an understanding as to why I kept it to myself. So I'm kind of...
Are you guys both expecting the wife to stay shlum about it? You're telling your missus. Both of you ever said you're going to tell your missus?
No, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I'm not too sure.
You don't know what you're going to do?
I don't know.
But that's her decision to make.
And yeah, if you do tell your fiance, then who's to say that she's going to say anything? And who's to say that she already knows what her dad is like already? So...
All right.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of 50-50 with it,
Simples?
I ain't saying nothing. It's not my business.
I like...
If you see his face as well, if you actually see his face, I ain't saying no.
So there's her dad. Like, she's known that one for a longer time than I've known that one. I'm coming in here as the fresh blood, innit? And I'm just gonna come out here and start snitching on people that I don't know nothing about. I don't know the history of this man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether or not this is pathological. I don't know whether or not his current relationship, marriage, be it whatever it is, doesn't actually allow for this on certain occasions. I don't know.
Well, why would he tell you not to say nothing if it was allowed?
Well, okay, so that's a bit suspect that he's saying not to say anything.
But he ain't gonna tell you to say something.
But he might have passed his quota, innit? He might have had
He got 5 for a week.
He might have 5 for a month, and he's gone. This is the 6th one. He's taking a piss now.
Pussy
Like,
2 for £1.
this is what I'm saying. So like he could really be going.
£1 fish.
Yeah, exactly. He could be
Very,
going
very good.
above his quota for this whatever period. So
I'm not STD. £1 fish.
I'm not
very, very good.
I'm not out here trying to get involved in this, innit? I saw it. You saw that I saw it. You know, innit?
All right.
There's nothing more for me to say.
Webs.
I don't have a definitive answer, but I would say you shouldn't embark in a relationship with lies.
Ooh.
Not all nothing, man.
That's a bullshit.
So what does that mean then?
Yeah,
I just said
like,
I don't have a definitive answer.
that's not a lie. If
But
she
if you're entering the marriage with a lie because you know something about your father-in-law and you don't say nothing, essentially you're holding a lie, right?
Not
No.
really.
You're hiding something.
yeah, you're hiding something. It's not a lie.
That's
And
deception.
it-
Deception is
Yeah,
kind of related to
Deception
lying.
is
innit?
related to lying.
It's in the same basket, in the shopping basket.
Can I ask a question?
You've answered the question.
To simple.
Go on.
On Team Petty Tuesday, yeah?
Mm.
It's Team Petty Tuesday, yeah?
Mm.
You're sitting at home, and then your missus goes to you, and that's why your family's all fucked up.
Well, at least my daddy ain't begging
One
to stay
day, you're just chatting, and then she just out of the blue that says, you're chatting, blah, blah, blah. And I said, that's why your family's all fucked up. That's all, blah, blah, blah. Because your mum and dad, blah, 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 blah. She says something like that to you.
Okay, so this is what's important about Team Petty Tuesday. Yeah, this is what you have to understand. Yeah, this team pettiness isn't based off of malicious behavior from other people. This is like, it's some deep-seated, like real petty shit. So in retort to somebody saying that, the pettiness wouldn't come out. The pettiness, I instigate the pettiness. It's not a tit for tat. It's not a tit for tat thing. I instigate the pettiness out of my own, my own contrived divergence.
So it might. So you may mention something in a couple of months, perhaps.
But it's not in retaliation to anything that's been said. If I'm going to mention it, I'm going to mention it.
You just drop a bomb because you feel like it.
Because I feel like it, because it's Tuesday. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. Like, it's not a tit for tat retaliation thing. So if she wants to tell me how my family's messed up and all the rest of it, and then fine, okay, my family's messed up. What's that got to do with anything? I don't have to peel that out.
Boy,
I'm holding on to that card. I would hold on to that card.
I mean, as swift as she said it out of her mouth, I'm telling her, that's why your mum's pussy's so raw, because she can't fuck her daddy. That's why your daddy's fucking her going. I'm coming out straight out.
No, boy. Why are you dissing the mother for?
Nah, I won't do that. But you know in your head, that's what you're thinking, isn't it?
Wrong.
You look at her like,
wrong.
Just Instagram the picture.
Snapchat.
Nah, I'll hold on to that one. Nah, I'm not.
So nobody would blackmail the father?
Nah.
The father.
Stavros is saying I ain't saying nothing.
You're not saying nothing to no one?
Nah, I don't
Serious?
think so.
You, the truth. If your missus says to you, how was the stag? Did anything happen that I should know about?
The answer's still no.
The way all of you just turn it, look at me. I don't think I would tell my missus. Let's see. I might say yeah, but I ain't telling you.
Wow.
I do stuff like that sometimes, and you just have to trust my decision. I don't know. Because, I was looking at it from another person's point of view, and then I realized I do actually have a father-in-law and I do have a wife, and I could picture it if it was my wife's dad. But then,
isn't that withholding the truth?
Yes, it's withholding the truth. It's keeping secrets. It's not lying, though.
Did I not just say?
I say I don't lie.
It's not lying.
And, it's not lying.
Withholding the truth
But we
is not lying.
We just said it's deception.
Well, it's
I
not
said-
lying
I said
because
it's-
when you asked him, when something happened, he said, "Yes, I'm not telling you." That's not a lie. That's telling her the truth.
No, but then the question was anything that you think I should know about.
He said yes.
So
I'm not telling you.
I should think so I think you should know about it, but I'm not going to tell you.
Yes, that's what he said.
So it's withholding the truth.
Well, it's not a lie.
Did you cheat on me? No.
I'll be like, listen,
Essentially, it's.
I didn't do nothing wrong. Let's let that know straight now.
It's all nothing at the wedding picture with the father.
As the foundation. I didn't do nothing wrong.
Somebody you know did something wrong, but I ain't saying who it was.
I'm the pappy.
Yeah, that's bitch-heartedness.
Okay.
I think so. I'm sorry.
But you said you wouldn't say nothing.
I wouldn't say anything.
So what's the difference?
What if your missus asked you the same question that
What?
I asked Stav? So she goes to you, is there anything that happened on this stag that I should know about?
The answer is no.
So it's better to lie
Play out lie.
than to be honest.
Bro, but why she should know about it though?
Because that's banging some next woman.
Yeah,
in the
but why
hallway.
she should know
They didn't
about
even
it?
take it to the room, bruv.
Yeah,
That's a proper disrespect.
But why
That means
again?
that he couldn't-
Again,
No, but seriously, all the rest of the people
take
from
it
the
to
stag,
the
yeah,
room.
all the rest of the people from the stag could see the dad banging, like
So where did he bang?
in the hallway.
No, they were getting ready to. I mean, they were starting. They were kissing and.
Oh,
fondling.
okay. But then explain to me
And in the pussy.
how does she need to know about that? That's the question. That's the question she asks is there anything that I need to know about?
We had a good time.
How do you need? What is there that she needs to know there?
This simple Simon behavior.
I'll just leave it up because I don't want to justify anything like that, man. Okay.
You ain't, but he does pose a
but-
very good question.
Can I just ask?
Hold on. Is that a very good question? Really? That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Why should a woman know that her dad is cheating on her mum?
Yeah.
Only
Why-
Nigerians
why
can
should
say
she
this, you know.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
saying this.
You
Only
know,
a Nigerian can ask that question. Why should she know? Why should she know? Why should she know?
Is it her business?
Okay, would you want to know? If your missus caught your dad sleeping around on the outside and said to your missus, shh, don't tell. Would you want to know?
Probably not.
You wouldn't want to know.
Hold on. Do you think it's something that you should know if your partner knows it? Forget just your dad's cheating. But if your dad's cheating and your partner knows, is there anything I should know that happened within all these people that went, including my father?
But you guys still haven't answered my question. Why should the person know?
Because it's her business.
Why is it her business?
Because of her father.
Her
It's
dad
immediate family.
is cheating on her mum.
And
That's her business.
no,
That's between
it's
her
not.
dad and
That's
her mum.
Exactly.
No, it's a
between her-
family. It's a family business.
It's between her dad and her mum.
it's
So
Family,
hold
dad
on.
and her mum.
So if you did something to your spouse, is that nobody else's business? That's not your parents' business at all.
It's between
You
us.
and your woman.
It's between me and my woman. That's what.
only. So if you beat her or she beat you or something like that, her family has no business in that.
This is a very European way of thinking.
Yeah, it's very European
because I don't think.
Okay, sorry. So can I just come back to Mr. Simple Simon? Because the other day we spoke about if his missus slapped him in the face or beat him, and he said the village, they take it to the village.
Yeah.
So it's a village business. But now,
Hang on.
Wait.
Wait. Saying that it's the village business and me taking it to them for adjudication is two completely different things.
Oh, come on.
No, it's the truth.
Okay, so but I'm saying to you, okay, on this situation, your father, who is head of your, or maybe not even head, let's say mid-range section of the village community that you live in, is now cheating on the mother, who is also in the same level, right, in that community, and one of the people in the community knows this. Are you trying to tell me, as a village together, it's none of their business?
But it isn't.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Listen, the king and the queen discuss it, and if they have to bring it to the rest of the village, then they bring it to the rest of the village. It's up to those two individuals to discuss their problems first before it goes anywhere else.
This is what I'm
But
saying.
how can they discuss the problems if they don't know the problem existed in the first
But if
place?
they don't know the problem exists in the first place,
then there's no problem to discuss.
You lot are such bitches. I can't believe that you're trying to tell me this. Seriously. You're trying to tell me that it's none of your family's business if the dad is sleeping around on the mum.
It's between mum and dad, and if
Okay,
mum and dad
okay.
want to make it,
Let's-
everybody else's
and
business.
And
It's
like
up to
I
them.
said before, who's to know? How do we know that the woman doesn't know that her husband is like that anyway?
Can we just rotate?
And she doesn't want all this information out, and she just wants to keep it within the family or keep it within that circle.
But it's not within that circle
Yeah,
because
but-
he's banging outside, isn't he?
Yeah, but but he's banging outside. But
Hanging out the back
how
of that.
do you know that they haven't got some kind of an arrangement that he's told his future son-in-law, don't say nothing, but in reality, his missus knows already because he doesn't want to stir anything up.
Also, included in all of this here,
How do we know that?
because you've made a good point there, because it could be a thing that the two parents have their relationship, they understand that each other within their relationship, i.e. the mum knows, yeah, and the dad telling the son-in-law not to say anything isn't so much about him doing wrong, but more about his daughter now having to possibly deal with this idea. Because if you look at it from another angle, she can get upset if something happens, and he can then say, well, your dad is exactly the same way, and use the dad's relationship as precedence for his own. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
God damn. So now you just chuck it on to the dad.
But,
but there's a whole load of variables that we don't know. And
I'm almost certain.
I don't think we should.
I'm almost
involve
certain if this
ourselves.
was-
I need to clarify. If it was the mum it's not because it's the man. If it was the mum, it would be exactly the same for me.
I can't
It's
see
not
every
my
man.
business.
If somebody's mum is banging outside, I can almost sense them telling their dad straight away. Man's gonna tell their dad.
No.
Man's telling their dad straight. Because no man wants to see their dad looking like a bitch outside on the road.
No.
Listen,
no.
the women that
I ain't
went
saying
Chocolate
none.
City, some of them are mothers. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying none.
Yeah, but the children
not my
over there,
business.
were they breastfeeding while they were sucking dick on the stage?
Who knows?
Damn.
Okay. Would any of you bang if this woman wasn't a 9.5, or if she was a 9.5 but she was somebody that you would describe as an anti-type, would you still want to go in? Let's say somebody else is stag and you're fully single. So, Mr. Wolf, you had a question about banging an auntie type, and
Was
you
that
know
my question?
that's your question, man.
Do
you know what?
He said, where are the African cougars?
Oh yeah, can we describe what the anti-type is?
Do you know what? Yeah, it was actually a friend of mine who posed this question to me some time ago, and he said, "Would you bang an auntie?" I was like, the second that he said it, I was in stitches, laughing, grabbing my belly, because as we have said in previous podcasts, men just tend to look at backsides, and sometimes when you do look at a backside and it's moving up and down, when the face turns and you realize, oh, it's an auntie, you know. And then he was like, "Mr. Wolf, would you bang an auntie?"
But describe what an auntie is first of all. That happened to me the other day. Actually.
Yeah, because
Well,
are we talking spare jollof rice auntie?
this is what I'm saying. That there's a variety of them in it. You know, I'm not talking about the ones.
Wait.
Go.
Oh, what's a spare jollof rice?
We already discussed the spare jollof rice auntie. The woman that walks with it in her bag. She has the jollof rice in her bag.
Spare jollof rice.
Like it's ready for
The
her.
ones that are where the ground is shaking when they're running for
Like
the bus. Yeah.
Viola Davis. That's what
They don't run.
they don't run. They glide.
They
shuffle.
They shuffle.
or
shuffle
reverse
for the bus.
moonwalk is what I call it. They did a reverse moonwalk.
Boom, boom.
All right.
Oh, the bus for me.
An auntie is a woman that I would think that if you were sexing them, if they were sexing them, instead of them saying "oh yes," they'll say "yay, yay, 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 yay."
It is feeling good.
Karipa, yay. That's what I would say is an auntie. So are we talking elevated auntie, or are we talking young ting aunties?
More young ting aunties. I'd say
Bracket, give it age bracket.
early 50s.
Early 50s, man.
Big up all the
Yeah, but
aunties
this
out
is what I'm saying. So Mr. Wolf then asks, are there African cougars out there? Do you know what I mean? So would you bang an auntie and are there African cougars?
there. Do cougars have to do anything with money? They don't.
No, cougars are just older than the milfs, innit?
They're out there. You know what?
And
it
they
is?
just want the young wood.
I used to work with a woman who, Nigerian woman, and her husband would go backwards and forwards between here and Nigeria. And
Did you bang this auntie?
no, but she was an auntie, and she was a pretty auntie as well. Actually, for
what I'm
I mean,
saying.
for her age, she was pretty. Obviously, for me, it wasn't. You know that like in her day, she was a stunner, but she's an auntie now, and she's not stunning anymore. But for her age, she's still very attractive. Like so, anyone in her age would look at her and say, "That's a very attractive woman," and she's young at heart and all that stuff. Anyways, so her husband was in Nigeria, and I said, "Oh, how is he?" I said, "Oh, I don't know. Who knows who he's having sex with or whatever." And I was like, "Huh? You mean your husband, auntie?" She said, "Yes." I said, she looks at me because I'm there looking like, what's going on? And she's like, what do you think he's doing when he's going there? I'm not stupid. I know what he's doing. Let him go. As long as he's putting food on the table and looking after us, it's fine. Let him go. He's not doing it in front of my face. I was like, wow. But who knows what that auntie is doing here? That would be the cougar that is find somebody that she's interested in and says, well, while she's over there in Nigeria doing his thing, I'll be over here doing my thing as well. And once we join up together, I'll give him pounded yam and everything gets cool.
Do you see how this relates back to the first question that we were having before about the father-in-law not saying anything? Anyway, I think.
Yes, I can see the relation.
I was a bit late there.
I think aunties can get it because because technically that woman that used to be in Coming to America, what was her name again? The one that said whatever you like.
You know her name.
Yeah, this woman is an auntie now, isn't
She's
she?
61.
Yes, and I would.
Yeah, but okay,
Twice.
This is the thing.
What's her
though.
name? What's her name again?
All right, keep talking. Go.
This is the thing, yeah. You're calling her auntie, but I won't call her auntie.
Why?
Aunties don't go gym. Aunties don't work out like that. I'm talking about the ones that will, when you're going into the bedroom, she's not taking off a thong and a skirt. She's taking off a wrapper. That's what she's taking off. That's what's coming off.
Okay. So you're saying that the auntie is more King Jiffy Joffa's wife.
But I would, King Jaffa Joffa's wife would have got it as well.
That's what I'm saying. So that's more auntie type than whatever you
We're
like.
talking about gele matching shoe, matching bag type auntie. We're talking Ghana must go is a handbag type auntie.
Wow.
Ridley Road Market auntie.
Yeah,
That's
like
it.
there is no way she's
East
paying
Street
the correct
Market
price
auntie.
for anything auntie. Not these young aunties that's going around trying to do fashion. We're
All
talking
right.
about the ones that when
All
they
right.
go home will take off their hair.
All right. So,
Flip flop wearing auntie.
all right, I'm gonna go as far as to say if you knew her pre-auntie, then it probably would be all right. But for me to come into this now, I'm sorry. There's no sexual attraction for me there. I'm sorry.
They may look good and the shape
But
might be there.
there's no sexual attraction for me.
There is some aunties that still
But
look
the
good.
bottom is looking good.
But
don't
why
know about-
why are we singling out aunties? What's going on?
I don't know about Pope's 50.
Are we getting to that stage in our life now?
Well,
I think
Mine
the
are
man must have
nasty,
just,
but-
you know, he must have just crossed his brain at some point. I'm talking about Mr. Wood's brethren that said the question. He must have just crossed his brain and said, would you bang an auntie? He like came in, you know me, I'm the type of person that has these types of things that come into my brain. And I think he must have just been thinking, can you bang an auntie? And I think it just came out. And then once you visualized it and spoke about it, you now have to decide whether or not it's something that can happen.
There's an auntie somewhere that will be banged. We all, until we see her, there's an auntie somewhere.
So she's a cougar, but we don't call her a cougar.
But cougars are the ones that go for young men.
Yeah,
I don't
they-
see
they-
African aunties. Maybe
do.
searching for young men.
If you watch enough Nollywood, you will see it, boy.
It's true, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, Mama G, that's an auntie.
Who?
Mama G. You don't know Mama G?
Yeah, I don't know.
He must not. You know Mama G. You just don't know her name as Mama G.
Okay.
She's one Nollywood old woman. She's done once in everything. She always practices witchcraft. She was the one that poisoned the food and then tasted it to see if it was. And tasted to see if it had enough poison. They said, "Is that one? That's the one that they talk about, Mama G." And you can see that in her day she was a looker. You can see that in her day, Mama G was a looker.
Yeah, basically, well, when my brethren asked me the question was when we actually saw a backside and when the woman turned around. A backside. And when she turned around, I was like, oh.
You've not seen Yash. You saw backside.
It's an auntie. And then we kind of looked and we said, yes. And that was it.
Okay,
Yeah,
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Would you bang out Aunty then? Is that what you're saying? You could have happened.
I could have.
All right.
In my previous life.
Would you prostrate before you bang?
Dobale.
Just to let listeners that don't know, Nigerians, when we have somebody that's elder, or sorry, not all Nigerians, Yoruba people, when you have an elder in your community, you tend to what we call prostrate, or as Mr. Wolf just said,
Dobale.
which means that you will, stoop down. The men may go flat all the way down to the floor, and the women just like curtsy a little bit to the elder. And I just had to ask whether or not Mr. Wolf would have to do it before he enters.
No. There has to be some kind of ice that is broken already, man. You kind of got to leave that one alone, you know?
Okay, we're going to move on to the next question. But before, just would you bang an attractive auntie? Just a quick yes or no. If you're all single and all that stuff, all those disclaimers put in there.
Webs is just skinning teeth.
Stavros going to say, yeah, man.
I'm doing it for the story, no long thing. And the food after.
I'm there. And you know what? I think we should actually question whether we would prostrate before we enter.
I don't care. As long as I get fed after, I'm all right.
I'll prostrate for the culture.
And you would.
And
I would only prostrate.
That boy.
I was singing them church hymns during the time.
Has everyone just said yes then?
We all said yes.
all said yes.
All right then. The woman in question, her name is Vanessa Bell Calloway.
Yes. I'll ring her bell.
All right. So Vanessa Bell Calloway.
Whatever you like.
Check our Twitter and our Instagram. We'll have pictures of her along with the question. So yeah, there you go. Also, if you're listening to this, the date comes out. You're just back from your Easter. Well, a lot of you will be back from your Easter holiday. Hope you enjoyed the holiday. This is a good way to get back into the short week that you have.
Banging out.
And where can they find us?
Get your eggs in order.
Find us at ESN Podcast. We'll be on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook.com/ESN Podcast with an S, and you'll find us there.
Please, every auntie start tweeting Mr. Webslinger and show him a bit of leg. Lift your rapper.
Imagine that, boy.
Show that silly
show that sandal.
Please.
All right. This was a question sent in by Simple Simon. Sex for rent.
Oh.
There's been an increase in advertisements for rooms or apartments where rent is paid in sexual favor. If all parties are willing, is this an issue? And what does the offer say about the landlord?
I'm already this question perplexed me because I wasn't adverse to this the same way I would be adverse to paying for sex for money, and I don't know why. I don't know why. It's the same thing.
So you're saying prostitution, you don't like the idea of it, but if somebody says, "Listen, I've got a room in a nice house, come." And as long as you're willing to have sex with me, then then you can stay in this room for free. I want to have sex 3 times a week. Is that cool with you? And I say, yeah, and that's that.
Does the banging cover all utility bills as well?
Yes.
For me, it's whether or not you're. For me, I'm seeing this because my penis is at least a mansion. I don't expect to just get one room.
You want a whole mansion?
I want a whole swimming pool and matching shower room and steam room,
ensuite,
for my penis.
walk-in closet
for everything. My penis, and they shouldn't be staying there. They can only come to get the sex and leave. It should be my own space. It should be my own space.
Okay. You come to collect the rent. You are just.
But I don't know. It's like I feel like. I don't know. It's maybe because I don't feel like anyone's being taken advantage of. If everything's out in the open, everybody's straight with it, and a person could pay for the rent, but they're just choosing. I think that's it. If they could pay for the rent, they earn enough money to pay for the rent, but they prefer to pay for the rent with their vagina or penis. I have less of a problem than if the person couldn't afford to pay rent and the only way they could stay in that house is by having sex with the landlord. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And no one's getting taken advantage of in prostitution.
But does that
It's a good
border
agreement.
does that border
That's questionable.
does that border gold diggerishness, if that's a word?
Gold diggerishness.
It could do. I think it borders on it.
Yeah,
but
sugar daddies and sugar mummies.
But
basically.
it depends, isn't it?
What about if it's transitional? So let's say when the person initially goes to this into this arrangement, they couldn't afford to pay the rent, but because they've been there, I don't know, 6 months, they now are able to afford the rent, but still choose to just give up the nappy dog out.
No, I'm not agreeing with that. I don't think you should PayPal your pussy or your penis.
Does the sex differ depending on the rent? And if it's 2 bedrooms, 1 bedroom, is it part by part rent, part pussy, part anal? What's going on? What's going on?
Part pum, part anal.
Does head give you an extra shower?
Exactly.
I don't like any of you lot.
Do you come 2 months in advance?
Stavros' answer to the question. I don't have a problem with it, but I don't really have a problem with prostitution either. As long as, you know, a woman. But the thing with prostitution is usually, because what you said about there's nobody being harmed during prostitution. Prostitution doesn't usually stem from a place of I'm happy, I'm in with good wealth and sane mind, and I just want to sell my bits. Usually somebody's in some sort of dire straits, whether it's mentally or financially, and they feel they have to do it. That is why.
Not all the
that's why I said usually. That's why I said usually.
Yeah, but I don't. It's not even usual now because the way how they set these things up, the websites and.
Tell us more about it, Mr.
I will
Wolf.
tell you.
Tell me more.
Not that I know. I watched the TV program actually. Yeah, Mr. Wolf watched the TV program
While I was on the internet.
Under the dog.
Whilst
Yeah.
on
Mr. Wolf
internet.
online.
I was under the dog.
Yeah.
I see things whilst I'm under the dog, you know.
Stroke my whiskers.
Listen, don't listen to these guys. Mr. Wolf watched the TV program.
What was it
and
called? What channel? When was it on?
It was
was the
on
hashtag?
BBC Three when BBC Three was running. Yeah, and it spoke.
Mr. Wolf, the Howling Days.
Yeah. No, it spoke about porn and prostitution and things like that, and guys going on stag do's actually and getting pussy practically very easy.
All the P's.
All the P's.
Porn,
pussy, prostitution, penis. Yeah, and there was a section on there.
And the pus from the STDs you get from all of this.
Nasty. There was a section on there about women getting paid for sex, and when I was looking at the 2 or 3 women, they were living very, very well, extremely well.
Yeah,
With
like I said, so what are you trying to say? You think it's the norm that women that are doing selling?
well, they put a website out. Yeah, and I'm not going to advertise a website on the podcast, but there was.
Why do you remember it?
Hold on, was it?
I don't know.
Was it
I don't know why I
one
remember it.
blonde woman and one dark-haired woman, and one of them got pregnant and had an abortion? Or
No,
that's
nothing
no
like that
problem
happened.
Is the website poundsforpussy.com?
Oh, why would you do that?
It's not.
Poundsforpussy.com.
It sounds it does. It's not like an insurance. It's not like an insurance for pussy.
You should trademark that, bruv. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, but the website that they spoke of highlighted a few women, and they came from decent backgrounds and just decided to do this, and they earn so much money from it, which enables them to live a very good.
A lot of them
life.
are just. I think these high end ones. A lot of them is just escorts. They need a woman that can hold their own in a professional environment.
They call it sex work now.
Now, some of them are just having sex with these people. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Some of them are in relationships via the escorting thing. It's mad.
I can't even remember the question in the first place now.
I don't even have any. I don't even have any problem with prostitution. As long as the person who is the prostitute has their autonomy, they're not like being
Taking advice.
They're not being taken advantage of. So if you've got an agent, they're an agent. They're not a pimp. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So
no slaps, no nothing.
Yeah, none of that. Like if you decide that today you don't want to sell no dick or you don't want to sell no pussy, you should be able to just say, yeah, no, I'm not working today. As opposed to
self-employment.
Yeah, as opposed to get your ass out there on them corners, give me my money, bitch.
Isn't every agent essentially a pimp anyway?
Yes, effectively, but I don't want that to
So
be.
rather a fine, you get a slap.
Not the gorilla pimp style.
They're not the gorilla pimp style. Like people shouldn't be getting backhanded and stuff. And
we don't want to hear them street fighter sound effects.
yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
it's more that's more the crackhead form of prostitution, isn't it?
The crackhead horse.
The Simple Sam is all good about, and you
Not necessarily,
It's not necessarily.
because human trafficking, they do the same thing.
I have to ask now. I have to ask. Everyone's single. Every one of you single, right? And you see a buff thing.
No.
9.5.
Stavros saying no.
9.5. All night, this girl's been live. You and her has been cool. Everything's fine.
I've been to Brazil.
Everything is okay. She is cool. And then you're ready to have sex with her. You've already got to that point where you're ready to have sex with her. And then she says, wait 1 second. And then takes a hit of crack.
Oh, yeah, I'm banging.
You bang crack?
Yeah. I thought you were going to say she asked me for money for payment.
Yeah, high pitched.
The high pitched voice was there, bro.
Hang on. Why would you?
Why would I? What?
How come? It's weird. Like,
People do drugs, man. I don't know who's doing drugs and when they're doing drugs and whatever.
Fair enough.
That's their business, man.
Furry mouth.
Me banging you is my business.
I'm
The
there
crack
as
makes
well.
it better for you. I'm happy with that as well. I don't care, man.
Would
Mr.
it be
Wolf
more
said
or
yes.
less of a sexual turn on?
Stavros is anti-drugs, but people do it, innit? I'm not saying I'm not going to bang you because you take drugs. Okay, I'm not going to wife you because you take drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be more? Would
That agreement from Mr. Wolf.
One time.
all right. Yes.
I agree. Would it be more or less of a sexual turn on if she took the pussy? If she took the crack in her pussy or in her nose?
Good.
No, because there was a time back in the day where they used to rub cocaine on their vagina, innit?
Yeah.
In heighten the
In the 80s. They've been
In the
rubbing that
80s.
cocaine from the 80s.
From the 80s.
No, they used to rub it on their vagina, innit, to make it heightened. I think for the man as well. I think it works both ways.
Yes.
Good grief.
You know this? Whoops.
I've seen documentaries.
You know what Wibbs was
On
around
B-
today?
on BBC Three.
Yeah. Anyway,
he
the
was
answer
part
to
of the disco
your
era.
question is yes.
I would never.
I know you.
Look,
Righteous of the righteous.
before you talk, I want the answer from Simple Simon and Webbs. And then for the people that wouldn't bang the person that just took the drugs, I want to know why.
I would probably still bang, not because of the bang. Is it to my own surprise as well? Not because of the bang as well, but because of the fact that we've spent a certain amount of time together, and in that amount of time that we spent together, I have no inclination that this person takes crack, which means that they're not technically a crackhead, because by definition, a crackhead is somebody who not only takes crack but looks like they need it.
If she's dancing all around the room, then yeah.
What do you mean? That's what Daddy like, Gator. Yeah. So yeah, to my own surprise, I probably if my intention was to be doing sex, I'll be doing sex.
I know Webbs'
Webbs?
answer.
Yeah, we don't Webbs' answer. Just spit it
What
out.
do you mean you know my answer?
Of course we know your answer.
The only reason, if I was going to bang her, is if she snorts the crack off my dick.
Oh God.
Okay.
You want her to do that.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
If you're going to do it, make it entertaining.
Yes.
What was the original question, brother?
The question was, what's your views on people...
Having sex for rent.
Sexual...
Oh, in the houses and the flats. Go for it, man.
Again, if they're not being taken advantage of, then it's an interesting arrangement, but I don't. Really
So we're all cool with exchanging sex for rent, and we're all happy to bang somebody that we've had a really nice night with that we
Well, not
intended.
all, not all.
Can I finish? We were all happy with having sex with somebody that we had a really nice night with that ended up taking a sniff of something just before it was about to go down, except for Wahala, Mr. I ain't got no patience, Darky. Yes, I know that's dark coming from me.
Exactly.
Shadism.
So, what reason, before we move on to the next question, would you not have sex with somebody that had drugs, even though you've probably had sex with somebody that's had drugs?
I said crack. You lot are deciding that you want to lower or upper your drug. I said crack.
Okay. Crack, cocaine.
Right? Same reason why I wouldn't sleep with a woman that was drunk out of her head, because I don't know. I don't want to sleep with somebody that is intoxicated to a level where later when they could come and tell me I did something that I didn't do, and then they won't tell me they can even remember it.
I just so you know, like crack generally is up, not down.
I don't give a shit where it goes up, down, or whatever. When she starts trying to put things up you as well because she's on that crack as well, I'm not involved.
You have a very interesting view of drugs.
I'm not involved with that crackhead pussy.
Well, for people that don't take drugs, we don't know what this stuff does. And for Wahala that's never even been drunk, have you been drunk before?
No.
Yes.
Tipsy.
Yes, in Vegas. Shout out to Mr. Rana.
Okay.
That one time, and I pissed 18 times.
For people that don't drink, don't do drugs, you don't know the difference between this and that. Like, oh, what does marijuana do? What does cocaine do? What does ecstasy do? All it is that once you do this stuff, you're out of your mind, and it all looks the same to me.
It all depends how you take the drug, though, innit? Because if you snort a crack, it's different if you inject the crack than if you smoke the crack.
Damn it!
Yeah,
There are different
Smoke
types
the
of
TV.
drugs.
method of delivery does change the.
Hi.
No, yeah,
Okay,
it changes the intensity of.
Would you sleep with somebody that had meth?
Oh no, this is a bit much.
You see? It changes that.
But no, but I'm saying it's a bit much in the sense where, again, to me, it's all about whether or not this person is an addict or they take the drug. There's a difference.
Simple. There's mans that's taken meth once and decided they wanted to eat people's heart.
Yeah, but that's because meth
Anum
is
Shiba,
a
Anum Shiba,
truly
Anum
addictive
Shiba,
drug. You
Anum
take
Shiba.
it once and that's you. You can't take it once and say, I'm never going to take it again.
But again, this is what I'm saying to you. It depends on, because Stavros made a good point about people's understanding of drugs, yeah, and what the effects of such drugs are and how people behave and all the rest of it. And the way somebody reacts to drugs is as individual as the way somebody reacts to getting a cold. You know what I mean? One person would just probably sneeze and carry on moving. Another person is down, out. They can't do nothing, what have you there. So that same individual effect happens with drugs as well. So yes, there's a large number of people that if they take meth once, that's it, they're meth head for the rest of the next 15 years or what have you. And then there are some people that will take meth once and they'll be like, didn't really like it that much. They'll never take it again.
Listen, Nia,
I disagree.
when I see ya, I'm along ya.
That's fair. I hear what Simple Simon is saying. There are some people who take drugs socially, innit?
Okay.
And they just take the drug for a temporary high.
Listen,
yes.
I know
and
somebody.
they take it as a temporary high.
There are functioning.
I know somebody
Crack
who's taken
users.
nearly every drug that you can think of.
Socially.
Like, he's taken all of them.
So on Tuesday, he just takes crack.
No,
And
what
then
I'm saying to
Wednesday's fine.
what I'm saying to you, he's gone through a period of time with each
Why do you
drug.
think they call the club China White?
Oh God.
That's cocaine. I said crack.
Yeah, but cocaine
Hold on,
is
so
crack.
Where do you
No,
think
it's
it all come from?
a
There's crack and there's crack cocaine.
yeah, but they're different, isn't it?
So, no,
Cocaine
it's
is
the same
cocaine,
thing, it's
and
just-
crack cocaine
It's
is
just the
is
way
been a
it's
chemicalized
made.
version of crack. Oh, cocaine.
It's
no?
just no, they're both chemicalized versions. The way you get cocaine, you have to take coca leaf, you have to crush it, the juice that comes out of it, you mix it with petrol. Then you reduce it down, and then it comes down to a hard white, and then you crush that up. If you're making crack, then you take that and then you boil that in. Why do I know this?
Whip it
Baking soda.
real hard.
Yeah, you got to
Baking soda.
baking soda, pot that up, then you let that dry or sort of shit. Let that dry, let the liquid come out of it, then it turns into crack
Is this
rocks.
the one you're talking about? The one you mentioned though
Whipping that
before the
saucy.
sex was the one that they just sniffed, yeah?
The powder.
Crack cocaine.
I don't know. Is it yes or no?
They
Yes or
smoke
no?
crack cocaine.
Do you want the powder or you want the rock form?
I'm
They
talking
took
about
a- they took a puff.
crack cocaine where they
the rock.
burn the bottom of the foil and smoke it through the can. You see, you thought it was a quick snort, innit?
Yeah, I thought you
But
just
you
sniffed
said
something. Let me
snort.
bang, man. Yeah, that's what you said. You said
No,
sniff.
I said
You said
take
something to do with
crack
nose.
cocaine. Then you're going because the rest of them started to start sniffing things. Then he will talk about sniffing of penises and stuff. That's not what I said. I said crack cocaine.
Listen,
Cocaine.
Mr. Wolf don't know the difference, but I'll still bang.
and on that note, let's move to the next question. I'm going to stick to a theme of men and women for now. As a man, is your woman's ovulation cycle of any importance to you? Now, we all have women or women that we're linked to.
This is like the sex.
Is a woman's portion, does it bother you in any which way? That, you know,
You need to
You
know
said her
when.
portion.
I
Yeah,
don't.
portion.
I'm
What, a
just
red,
getting
what, a red
chips
cycle?
or something.
Yes,
No,
her red cycle.
her period.
Her period. Her
Yeah.
Why don't you
ovulation.
just call it a period?
The bit where she flushes it out.
I'll call it red letter days.
Portion.
You know what's so funny?
Or red hammer time.
You know red
punishment.
Yes,
Red-
red letter. Yes,
red
yes,
letter
yes.
days are track
company,
days.
innit?
No, they're track days. Yeah, for when you do driving and stuff like that. Extreme events.
If you're Christian, you call it her punishment.
Red hammer time.
Now answer the question though.
Yeah, does it make?
It makes a difference for me.
Go on.
I want to know when and when I can't be banging. Simple and plain. That's why one of the rawest form of knowing.
Yeah, some people doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, for some people. For me, it makes a difference. I also think that you should know when your woman's cycle is because you should be there for your woman at those times. So, she may be a bit cranky or you can understand that she's in a pain.
Foot massage and back massage, water bottle kind of business.
Yeah, all of that. So that's niceties, isn't it? General niceties. I don't know, my woman always tells me I'm never nice to her during the times anyway, so maybe I'm not doing it right. But
Simple's looking very perplexed right now.
you should be nice. Like, it's a painful experience,
Hold
isn't
on, be nice.
it? Imagine if so, as a man,
Be
imagine,
extra nice.
Imagine if blood just came for your penis every month. It must be painful. If I hold my piss for a long period of time and pee it out, it's painful and nice at the
That's
same
a different
time.
thing. It's painful it's not painful down there, innit? It's painful elsewhere. It's not painful in the groinal area. It's a painful just above.
I suppose so, but they're feeling pain. It's cramps, they call it, innit? And have you ever had cramps before?
Yeah.
It's painful, man. And one time I had cramps when I was getting out of bed. I fell off the bed. I couldn't move. You know, like on what's that film called? Wolf of Wall Street, when he's trying to climb down the stairs.
Yeah.
That's how I was behaving in bed, but I was screaming as well. I was in pain. So if they're getting that on a monthly basis,
Next time that happens, can you just record it and send it to me so I can laugh, please?
you're a joker.
All right. So, okay, Mr. Wahala's, it makes a difference to him. He wants to know when and when he can't do the thing and when he needs to be extra nice because he's a nice fiance anyways.
Do you so do you track it?
What do you mean?
Do you actively track it?
Yes, in a way. No, I don't actually track it. I just know,
You know
when
about it,
when
yeah.
it happened.
Okay.
I'll be told, or I'll know when it's roughly gonna come up. After a while, if you live with a woman, you're gonna get to know it, I suppose, at some point.
Some men don't know, you know.
Stavros here. In the past, I've been with women that have had very bad periods, and I know about it because it changes the dynamic of the relationship during that week because they're a different person. It's like Bruce Banner and Incredible Hulk. It's that deep. Whereas, fortunately, I've settled with someone that I don't have that issue with. So it's up to the point where, whereas before I knew when it was coming, I knew to run away, I knew to hide. Whereas now, it's just like Simple Simon said, I don't even know when it comes about because it actually has very little bearing on the relationship in terms of I don't need to do any extra things during that time because it doesn't affect her as deeply as it has other women that I've had in the past. It's almost a minor. That's me as the man saying it. I don't mean to be flippant, but taking on board what my woman has told me, it hasn't and has showed me, it doesn't seem to affect her as much as I've seen it affect other women. So I'm lucky now that I've got a woman where it can come and go, and if I wasn't trying to do anything, then I wouldn't know.
Hold on, don't go there.
It's Webbs here. I think it is good to know when your woman is on her cycle. It's nice to be that extra nice that week because you get extra treats the week after.
I'm gonna touch on that when you're finished.
Yeah.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I think we're all decent guys here. We want to be nice to our women, so we should know when they're in a form of discomfort. I too have been with women in the past who have had difficult monthly cycles.
I too have had my period. I really thought you were gonna say that.
I too have been on my
But
cycle.
what I was gonna say next is that I would like our female listeners maybe to try to compare the pain to something that we can have. You know, is it a muscle cramp that they're getting? You know, what is it? You know, that a hot water bottle can do miracles to, and maybe a couple of aspirins they hold in their belly, and the mood swings. Is the mood swings there because they're in such pain, or is it because they go through this hormonal cycle? Do you understand what I'm saying? So I would really like to know what it feels like, because when I get muscle cramps,
Do you get emotional? Do
I'm
you
close
cry?
to tears, mate, because a lot of the time I get it in my calf more time than anywhere, my right calf when I'm working out or whatever, and that's due to too much salt and a lack of water or whatever, and the pain is a killer.
I want to know if women think that a bad period is worse or less painful than a kick in the balls.
But they don't know the pain of a kick in the
That's
balls.
the thing. We don't know the pain of a bad period.
Simple. I want you to touch on it because I want to ask a question after that's related to it.
Yeah, for myself, I don't know. I kind of find that in relationships, I've always kind of tracked the menstrual cycle of the woman in question. I'm
said tracked. Like it's a tracker mortgage.
Yeah, no, I've tracked
He sniffs it out.
I've tracked it.
That blood's coming soon, you know.
I tracked it to the point where
Hold on. Is that iron smell in the air?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And it's been to the point where like, oh, you know, I've even said some stuff sometimes like, oh yeah, let's do. No, you know you're coming on, and you like, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah. She's like, no, I
Wait for it.
yeah.
There it is.
It's like, I know myself or whatever, and then like that would be the conversation in the morning, and then in the afternoon, it's like, how did you know? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how did you not know? Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Are you mansplaining?
am I mansplaining? No, I wouldn't say that to her, but I'm just, for me, I think it like, how did you not know, kind of thing. Like, I find it to be important. You opened my eyes a little bit because you started talking about the difference in behavior and such stuff, and I never really made much consideration for that before.
Do you tell her, I know this because you and I are one?
No, I'm not a liar. I don't sell those kind of lies. I don't. So
Right.
yeah, I think it's of value, I guess.
All right. Question. Yeah. All right. Because this is something. This is something that I personally I'm not very good at, and my missus tells me off quite often about.
It's a long list.
Mr. Wolf.
Get ready, ladies.
Mr. Wolf. Remember that every week you always tell me empathy, and
yes.
I am shit with empathy with this type of situation. Right. If my woman's in pain, yeah, if she's in pain, she's
Guy in cinema.
no. I do that as well. But
Get over it, move.
no, not even just that. If she's in pain or she's going through these periodic times or she's unwell, my woman expects me to be a little bit more patient with her.
Comforting.
No, I'm sorry.
And I have this is what as far as I can say, it's like this, yeah. I know you're in pain, but I does not justify what you mean. Meaning, you can say to me what you feel you want to say to me at that period of time. So, because you're in pain, you may say something like, like if you wasn't in pain, you may say, well, leave me alone. And then when you're in pain, you be like, leave me, go away, stuff like that. Yeah, and I will take it. I don't care if you're in pain. You're screaming at me and you're telling me go away, and I'm beefing the same way. Pain or no pain, me and you's beefing that day because you said something to me that I don't like. And she says to me, sometimes I need to take into consideration that she's in pain and maybe have some empathy about the fact she's in pain, and maybe just say, you know what, don't worry, you're in pain. That's why you're behaving like this. You know, like in the Snickers advert where the person's hungry in it and he wants the food or whatever. Or you will say how I am when I want food. Like, I just don't have no empathy for it. Do you, man, when your woman's on your period, do you tend to be more, like I said before, I'll be more, I think I'm being comforting. She doesn't necessarily feel like she's like I am. Do you feel like you're going out of your way? Do you feel like you would go out your way to not sweep under the carpet, but you know,
Stavros will talk. My woman is no. Like I said, fortunately I'm not in that situation anymore anyways, but if I was, it's being in pain doesn't give you the right to now throw the rule books of
Respect.
The rules in this house. And the rules in this house state you cannot talk to me like so, and if you do, you're getting tossed out the window.
But have you fixed the shower yet?
Sorry?
But have you fixed the shower yet?
I knew that would come up, and I was gonna be like, "You man's just going, no. Keep talking about it.
I left it.
Keep talking about it."
Shower is not yet fixed.
Okay, if that's what you.
Dear 96, shower not fixed.
Hey, I like that.
Where was I?
The 10 staff commandments.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thou shalt not give rudeness in my
pain
house.
does not give
Thou
you
shalt
the
not
right.
fix the shower.
Thou shalt not be rude in thy house.
I shouldn't be rude to you just because I'm in pain, and vice versa.
But Mr. Wolf,
I might give a bit more leeway if it's a one-off thing. If you've banged your foot on the door as you walked in, and I'm laughing at you, and you want to switch at me, I can accept that but you know, I've given you a kind of a joke that you're not ready for at that specific moment in time. But if it's just that I'm going through pain for this 3 or 4 days or 5 days, whatever it is, and you can't say nothing to me, you can't do nothing around me, you can't make any jokes, you can't do nothing, then it's like, I understand that I do have to tone things down in that situation. And if unfortunately I slip, it doesn't mean that you can, well, I guess I'm gonna have to let you slip as well then. Who knows, man? Who knows? I'm gonna take what I'm saying back. Go on, Webbs.
I'd like to segue, but I want to touch back on this. So, Wahala, if you know your missus is going to be hormonal, which means she's going to be emotional, which means she may say something out of turn or doesn't necessarily come out the way you like it. You're not willing to accept that, knowing that this situation causes this to happen.
That's exactly what I was going to say, by the way. Because I wanted to know whether the monthly cycle kind of boosts the whole emotional side of women. You know, is it just pain, or is it also emotional kind of trauma?
I don't know. That's a question that we can't answer. But funny enough, the subject that we're talking about here with the pain and what have you, I had this same conversation with my missus, and this was about a time before we were going to go into labour ward and that, like a few months before.
Yes.
And we were having the conversation just jovial and whatever, and she's like, oh, if I say something that's out of place or what have you, then you shouldn't really feel no way about it. And I just turned around to her and I said, why are you saying something out of place?
Exactly.
And she's like, oh, well, I'm going to be in pain or whatever. Yeah, but it's obviously you're thinking this stuff in it, you're deep in it. So if you come out with it, then it's something that you've been preying from before, and I'm not going to accept it. And she's like, oh, but how can you be like that? I said, listen, if you cuss me in the delivery room, it don't matter what you're cussing me about, I'm going to cuss you back there and then. And she was like, but that's not like, where's your empathy? I said, if you want to use this as an opportunity, I'd rather you stand up now and cuss me now than to then tell me that I said
Stand up tall.
because I said it because I was in pain or what have you. No, there's no justification for that. When I hurt myself and I'm in extreme pain, you don't see me there saying, F this person and F that person because I'm in pain. Behave.
Yeah, I'm not backing that one either. I don't care. You can squeeze my hand, you can do all of this pinching and the squeezing and all that rubbish. As soon as you start cussing me down, me who's beefing in the delivery room.
But they both ask you, Wahana, question, don't you empathise at all?
I empathise at all. I think I'm being empathetic. That's the point. I already think I'm doing it, but it's just not the case. So you mentioned stepping on the foot, yeah? So if I stepped on the, if she banged her foot, and you were talking more to do with the emotional pain, innit? I don't know about this emotional pain. Either you're in pain or you're not in pain. This is emotional. What's the difference between emotional pain and pain?
No, the hormonal side. Because when a woman, when a woman is pregnant, I think we spoke about this in one of the earlier podcasts. Flipping hell. Mr. Wilson mic is so impotent, it keeps on going down. Flipping hell. When a
Follow
woman
the leader, follow the leader.
When a woman is pregnant, she goes through, or some women go through such a change in their hormones that it kind of boosts their emotional state and their behaviors change.
Yep.
It's the same with me when I'm hungry. I've noticed that. Like if I'm hungry,
it's quite similar. I think that you can I think you can put it under the same umbrella.
I like
so
the way
when
you put
you're
it before. You said there's the difference between a physical pain, and because I'm in physical pain, it's making me change. So that situation where you hit your foot on something. This is when you're in a period. So are you in so much physical pain that now you're just intolerant to any type of nonsense or anything, things that you're tolerant to before you're not? Or is the period changing you emotionally so that it's not even a physical thing, it's now a mental thing? I change for that week or so, and it changes me as a person, and the things that I could deal with before, I just can't.
I think it depends on the woman, innit?
Yeah, different women are different. But if the woman is the emotional type,
and that's why perhaps you've got to maybe have a little bit more empathy.
No, I have empathy, man. I have empathy.
Clearly you don't.
I do, but I'm very impatient at the.
That's not having empathy. If you can say impatience in the very next sentence,
listen,
that's not
I'm impatient. Yeah, if
you can't have empathy and be impatient.
Yes, I can. If you come up, man, yeah. If you come up, man, you're coming up, man, innit? If you come up, man, you're coming up, man.
You can't.
Don't come up, man.
You can't say you have empathy.
Where's the beef stick? Don't come up, man, innit?
The two contradict each other.
Am I God? Did I give it to you? I didn't give it to you. Don't come at me, innit? Go out, God, innit? You don't go to church and complain to him.
I knew the real answer was coming here somewhere. I knew it. I knew we were gonna get to the bottom of it.
No, I said I was impatient from day dot. I said I was impatient. But what I'm saying is, I believe I'm being empathetic at the time.
Yeah.
Until the beef thing, like you say something to me that I wouldn't be patient with normally, or because it's not a case that it's like she's being even that rude. It could just be something that I would be like, you wouldn't say this before. Why are you saying this to me now? And I would just snap like, what? My friend leave me or something like that. It'd be like, how can I put it? Maybe I would. She would say that I should maybe just ignore something. So it's not even rudeness. It could be something very minor, but I just won't ignore it because I don't ignore it normally. And she would be like, I'm sick. Why can't you just ignore it?
Yeah, but then I don't know if I'm agreeing with calling it sick.
No, I also do it when she's sick as well.
Oh, okay.
So you clearly have no empathy. It's as simple as that.
It's like I don't have to switch off that switch.
So when the example that Simple Simon brought, do you get emotional when you're hungry? You know, when do you get in your emotional state?
When
what
Arsenal have lost.
what is your reaction?
I'm not snappy then.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
When I know I'm snappy.
Yeah, what is your reaction? And then how are you expecting your missus to react? That's for Simple Simon and Wahala.
Wahala gets snappy when he's overly tired, and Wahala gets snappy for two things: when I'm tired and when you're asking me questions for no reason.
And all the time.
You're a joker.
Franco.
When you're asking me questions, and like I don't understand why you're asking me these questions, it makes me just get wild. Yeah, and when you're when I'm tired, and I know I am being out of order. I'm not gonna pretend and say that I'm not. I know I'm being out of order.
You just continue. That just makes you a bastard.
Simple.
Jon Snow.
In fact, it's for everybody. It's for everybody.
I discovered that the hungry thing and my persona, not a persona, my attitude and stuff changes with hunger purely on accident. And it was funny because I caught it. It's like
Contagious.
no, like once I caught it, I mean like the missus must have said something and I must have just snapped. When I say snapped, I mean like I was like the answer was really, really, what's the word?
Flippant.
Not flippant.
Short.
Yeah, it's really curt. The answer was really like curt. And even after I'd said it, I heard it back myself and I was like, but why are you being like that? Like, there's no reason for you to be like that.
Did you apologize?
Yeah, I said,
I'm sorry, Charlie Murphy.
I was having too much fun. I didn't apologize straight away. I apologized, like, when I clocked what had happened, like a couple of minutes later, I came back and I said, yeah, you know what, I'm really sorry. I know that I was a bit sharp earlier on, and it was because I was a bit hungry. And she was like, okay. Like, yeah, no worries. Thank you for apologizing and that. So it came as a matter of self-discovery. So I know now that when I'm hungry, or when I'm getting to that point where I'm really hungry, I don't have any time for like foolishness. I'm very, very curt with it.
I want to quickly segue, but I want to ask another question related to this.
Question to it.
I know. It's what it is. To the three of you.
As long as you answer some of these questions
Shut
that
up.
you're asking.
Yeah.
Stav, Mr. Wolf, and Simple Simon. You all have female daughters.
Yeah.
So when...
As opposed to the male daughter,
As
yes.
opposed to the male daughter, yes.
Hey, it's 2017.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Don't assume.
It is
Exactly.
true.
Don't assume
Exactly.
their sex.
Don't put it on me.
When they start having their menstrual cycles along with their mothers,
I'll be moving
how
out.
are you guys going to cope?
We spoke about this in a past podcast, and I'll listen to it.
And this is the thing. I would like answers on the podcast, please. Where can they send messages to?
At ESN podcast@gmail.com.
Well, you don't know that one either.
But you're the man, innit?
Or you can tweet us at ESN podcast.
But
Right.
don't get him on it. TM me on Instagram.
Get me wherever. But I want the women to actually let us know. You know, is it pain and you're reacting to the pain, or are you actually? Do your emotions change, like it does when some women, not all women, become pregnant? So, you know, when my daughter gets to that stage, got a little while yet, I'm not expecting her to all of a sudden become disrespectful. And this is my thing. When we were speaking about pregnant women effing and blinding at their spouse or whatever, their boyfriend, fiance or whatever, I think that they do that at that time because they have done it in the past and it's called almost normal behavior for them. If you're kind of have a high level of respect for each other and you don't swear at each other and things like that, I'm not expecting that in a delivery room either. I can expect some kind of, you know, reaction to pain and all them kind of things, but I'm not expecting people to start effing and blinding and being disrespectful.
Webbs, can you just repeat your question?
How will you cope when your daughter
I'll cope.
starts having a menstrual cycle.
What can I do? I'm not running out the house, innit? And I'm not kicking her out. That'll be that.
Get out of my house.
Exactly. you're bleeding. You're bleeding. No, I don't know, because to be honest,
Talking about behaviours.
I don't know what her behavior is going to be. So if it's like it's very easygoing, she's surprised in the beginning and she just deals with it quite gracefully, then there's nothing to deal with. On top of the thing with, I feel it's going to be a mother and daughter bonding moment, I believe. Not to say that
When they're both screaming at you.
No, also, yes. So you think if, like I just said, I don't have that issue really when in the situation I'm in now. I'm lucky. I would hope that my daughter doesn't have a painful and period. I would hope that it goes through quite smoothly for her. If unfortunately she doesn't, and she's one of those women where it affects her quite big negatively, then I'm gonna be there to comfort her and be there for her, because that's my daughter. That's my job.
Daddy stuff.
Yeah, but obviously, I'm a traditionalist, and a daughter shouldn't disrespect her father, and that's something that's gonna have to stay.
Simple.
The moment you have a daughter, I think you start to accept that you are a minority within your house, and there are going to be certain things that are going to happen as a minority within your house that you just have to swallow. And I think this whole period time,
Like what?
with two people, you
Fam.
just,
Like what?
I don't know, would it be appropriate for you to be making male type of jokes in the house with two women in there?
Such as?
I don't know, male type of jokes.
Yeah,
Well, you would have done it with one woman was there. What's the difference?
You may have done.
I'm more worried about, can I do it around children, as opposed to can I do it around my daughter and a wife.
Somebody did say something like what you said there, like what you're saying about this was to do with treatment of women, though. They were saying that men tend to, or dogs, whoever, tend to suddenly decide they want to change their treatment of women when they have daughters, which I don't agree with. I know plenty of dogs that have daughters, they carry on the same way.
Yeah.
But they said that that's one time when people tend to change the way they do.
That's true. But the thing, fortunately for me, is I've always had the same stance that I've had. Season 1's a good opportunity for you to take up that and put me to task. So me having a daughter didn't really change my outlook so much.
Yeah, go through either SoundCloud or iTunes or Stitcher or TuneIn. All our past episodes, we've got 75 episodes in season 1. You can go through all of that, check what Simple Simon is saying, and see if he's sticking to the same ways since these 16 episodes.
I've been that way since the 80s. That's well the deal.
All right. Last question on this male-female relationship sex kind of tip.
We have spoken everything. Go on, sex.
Yeah, it's been on that. It's been on that flex.
Why not?
Although this is not a sex thing, or it could be. Depends what you guys think. What, if any, is a man's role, job, or responsibility in a relationship?
I knew this question was coming.
Is providing financial security an outdated idea for men in a relationship? This is due to a conversation I've been having on Twitter recently, and I feel that it's a man's job to provide, and I've been told that that's an out of date way of looking at things, or especially if it's a financial way. And I just want to know what you guys feel. Is that out of date? Is that what a man should do, or is there any other jobs that it does a man and a woman even have a job in a relationship anymore, or is it all just is very fluid? You come into it and you just fill in where you fit in where you fill in, and that's just it.
Simple Simon, I'm in agreement with the idea that the man provides, or I should say I provide within my relationship. The very basic way I look at it is I'm a toaster. Don't ask me to make coffee.
I don't know what that man is. Nodded his head and moved away from the mic. That's what he did.
No, who's next?
You should have guarded that because
He stroked his hair in front of his
and
yes,
sat back.
Yes.
All right. Well, Alan's speaking now. For me, I think it's multiple things now. I think it changes in the way that the times are. I still think that a man is a provider, but I also think a woman can provide at the same time. I think that until there's children there,
But that anybody can provide.
okay.
Who's the provider?
Do
It's
you want me
either-
to answer this question or what?
I want you to, yeah, not
Can
to
you
skirt around
Can
it.
you let me answer it and then
A man
after-
can provide and a
Oh
woman
my
can provide
God.
too.
Because I'm not answering the Stavros way.
No.
Now I suddenly have to have this battle. Can I finish saying it before you dispute what I want to say? Can I at least finish saying what I'm saying then?
Let him land.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think the man should be a provider. But as I said, a woman should also provide. But I think it's more of a case of when there's children involved. If there's children there, then I think the man should be the provider, the heavy provider, while the woman looks after the family. That's my personal opinion. With regards to that being the sole, would you asking if it was the sole reason thing that they should do? What's the actual type question you're asking?
I asked, what are the roles or jobs or responsibilities for a man in a relationship and a woman?
Okay.
Are there still roles? And specifically for me personally, I'm asking, is it a man's role to provide financially in a relationship?
Financially,
so when you say a woman can provide and a man can provide, then I don't think that's
financially. I don't think no. I don't think it's the role of the man that has to provide financially. I just prefer to provide financially, but I don't think it's the role of the man. I just think whoever's got the most paper can do it. But I think that's more of a case when there's two of them. I think if there's a child involved, I think that the man would then have to step up and be the financial provider, simply because
not the advisor.
No, not the advisor, provider. Simply because the woman, I believe, should be looking after the child at the early stage of childhood, because they're the ones with the breast. Well.
That's right. You better hold on to your words.
Yes, I know. I am a fatty, so I could send daggers for myself. You lot are better than me, because I would have said it straight away. But yeah. So
Wahala's breast, by the way. That's the inside jokes.
Peter Griffin.
C cup.
Peter Griffin. So
38C.
So sound like the bus. So
hold that bus.
I won Aunty running for the bus.
Hold the bus.
Hold the bust.
So yeah. So I think that okay. If we're gonna do it in roles, I think that there are roles still within a relationship. I still think the woman should be the as I said, the mother of the family, obviously looking after the children and that stuff. If there's children involved, and I think the man should potentially be the person that backs up the mother by providing the correct. It doesn't have to be money; it just has to have the stuff for the house. I suppose in this time it's money, but they need to provide the things that the woman needs to make the home correct. So
man provider, woman nurturer.
In a way, yes. I think that men can nurture, but I think they're crap at it. I don't think it's something that's innate in them. I think it's more innate in women to be a nurturer than
it's not innate in a man to be a nurturer.
I don't think it's no. I don't think it is. I think men are just going out there to
to provide.
To look, no, protect more than provide even.
The hunter gatherer.
I think it's more protection than provision.
Okay.
So they protect their herd, if you want to call it in an animal way, by making sure that they eat well.
So women are herds. Okay, yeah.
And the children as well. They're looking after their herd, isn't it? So making sure that they're not protected from the outside. Nobody's coming to steal a child and run off like they do in the jungle or whatever. Making sure that they're getting food to eat and stuff like that. Even though in certain animal things, it's the woman that goes out and actually gets the food. So I suppose it's the same way that the men provide the financial security or protection, so the woman could go out and provide the food. If you want to put it that way, you can put it in that instance.
Going to the markets.
Yeah, if you know what I mean. But I think there are still roles. But I think the roles are merging a lot more in this day and age because of obviously.
Do you agree with the merging? Quickly before you go to the next person.
With the financial one, I think depends. As I said, right now, if somebody's got more money than the other, then your roles might have to change, man. Simple and plain.
Okay, Stavros, I just want to flesh it out just before we go to the two guys I haven't answered. I'm not to say that I just think it's a man's job. If the woman is earning more money or that type of situation, then by all means that's cool. I'm not saying that a woman can't bring money into the house. Yeah, because I don't want to get attacked on social media. Every week I'm getting it, so I don't want it to seem like I'm saying a woman shouldn't make money. I'm not wanting to say a woman shouldn't provide for the house. I'm not saying a woman can't bring things in. What I'm saying is that that's a man's job. It's a man's job to provide and protect his home. Yeah, and part of that is bringing home the bacon.
Swine.
Yes.
Swine.
So the term says. So if a woman is the one that's doing it, then by all means.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I've got this image of your head of you coming in the house and finding money in a purse. Bitch, where you get this money from? You been working? You been working? You been working? How you get this money? Who gave you money? You know you're not supposed to have no damn money.
So
Mr. Wolf is here, and I'll answer the question. Sorry, I can't. You finished. There is an episode in season 1 where we speak about the importance of mothers and fathers, and I think we came to the conclusion that in the grand scheme of things that fathers are more important to children. I can't remember which episode that is. So in Can you remember, Simple?
Yeah, I don't know the number, but I know that it was a matter of the father being considered a superhero.
Yeah, because what I would say in relation to Wahala is that men are nurturers, and men will nurture their kids. I think that very early stages of a child's life, from 0 to maybe 1, 2, even up to 3 or 4.
This is gonna be the controversial talk
You know,
here.
the men nurture boys.
Define
and girls.
nurture, please.
What are we counting down to, Simple?
As a father,
He knows covered in
As a father, as a father. No, I think that should be a T-shirt. As a father,
As a father, yeah,
as
it
a
should
father. But
be. And a hashtag.
But my point is that men do nurture both their daughters and their sons.
Okay, so Mr. Wolf, what do you find as nurturing? Because I think maybe we've got it a bit different. So go on.
Nurturing to me is teaching. Is teaching way of how to behave and teaching your culture and life in general. And I think that you can do that for your daughters, and you can do that for your sons. In relation to the question itself, I don't think that there's a wrong or right answer again. You can have debates until you're blue in the face, but I think it just depends on the two people who have come together. You should have some kind of things in common that, for example, if the woman, I think we spoke about this last week, if the woman is earning more money, it's not going to be a deal breaker in a relationship, but your woman would also know the type of guy that you are. If you are the type of guy that, I don't know, has an ego or likes to be the king of his castle, then she's going to do that, regardless of how much money she earns. And the woman at the same time could be a DIY person. It might be her job role, or it might be something that she loves to do. It might be something that she done with her dad, for example. So I think there are roles in a relationship, but I really don't think in today's society that we can say that a man should do this and a woman should do that. Maybe a man should take the bin out on the Thursday and the Friday. You know what I mean? I'll co-sign that. But in terms of roles in the house, DIY, painting, bin, cooking, men cook now. I think it just depends on the individuals. You know what I'm saying? So if a man likes to cook, a man likes to cook. If a woman,
Okay,
whatever.
okay.
You know?
All right. Well, I hear all these people saying all this stuff, and then I know what it's like in their houses. They know they're the man of the house. It's just talking
but
for the
for
sake
me,
of talking.
no.
Are they the women?
No, but what Mr. Wolf is saying
No,
is,
but you know what I mean. We're all old fashioned here.
No. Listen.
All this,
Listen. What Mr. Wolf is saying is that I'm speaking on behalf of the masses. It depends. What
do you think?
It depends on the individuals and how they want to deal with their relationships. For me personally, yes, that's how I am. I want to be the man of the house, innit? You understand? So I would not be with a woman who wants to be a man or who wants to wear the trousers in the household as well. You can't have two kings of a castle, in my opinion. One has to submit a little, no matter how much you want to sugarcoat around the scenario. You can't have two kings.
Do you think that the men usually, do you think the women are ones that usually submit more than the men in those types of households?
Perhaps. And when I have a queen, I'm having my queen next to me. You know what I mean? I'm not having my queen sitting behind me and washing my feet.
I would argue in a traditional household, the men probably submit more to the woman than the women do to the men.
But on the major decisions, perhaps not the case.
Yeah, what I think is on a day-to-day basis, a man, because he understands that, I think a benevolent king, an understanding leader of the house, understands that you find a woman that you trust and feel can run things even when you're not around, first of all. So you allow sounds like but all right.
We didn't want no beef this week.
Stavros is talking, and this is my personal views. I'm gonna spit it out there before we get onto what Websling wants to his views on this. A man is the head of the house. You cannot have two heads, like Mr. Wolf said. So there's a head of the house. What you do is you find a co-pilot who is there to back you up when things can't go wrong when you need help or assistance. In the general day-to-day runnings of things, I believe what Hala was saying is right. A lot of the time, the women do make most of the day-to-day decisions. What we're doing on our, so I know when I have a day off, or if we need to record this podcast, I'm first of all ask my wife, is there anything we're doing? I ask her. It's like, it's not permission, but I'm asking, what is it that you may have decided for us to do on this day, because you're running things in that respect. If you say we're doing such and such, I tell the guys I can't do this week, or sorry, no, I can't do that day. We do it in the evening, or we do it in the morning, or whatever, because my woman is making those decisions, because I've trusted the woman to make those decisions. But like Mr. Wolf said, there are massive, big decisions where sometimes they fall, often they'll fall on the head and shoulders of the head of the household, and those are things where it's where things are either bits of danger or bits where it's like, where are we going to live now? Obviously, you're not. The reason I use benevolent, and I want that word used correctly, not like it's a condescending term, but it's that I'm the head, but I understand I pick somebody who is able and willing to co-ride with me.
Okay, question quickly. Do you think that it has to be the man that is the head of the house?
I don't think it has to be the man, but I think that I think for a balanced relationship, there are things, like you said, a woman's job in a relationship when it comes to, let's say, children. Like, a man can't do something. It's not as a man you want to and you just, or you're lazy. A man cannot do certain things. You're not even equipped to do it. So there are certain things that are a woman's job, and there are certain things that are a man's job. Okay. If you expect a woman to do your job as well, it don't work.
So would you say that this is only specific for a heterosexual relationship?
I don't know about any other relationship. So I'm gonna say, in a heterosexual relationship, whereas you have one man who was born a man and believes they're a man, and one woman who was born a woman and believes they're a woman. That's what I'm talking about. And other things I don't know nothing about.
And you think the man should be the head of the house?
I feel yes, that is the man's job. That's so. I don't need to change the term. That's the man's job.
That's the man's job.
Yeah. If like Mr. Wolf said, if there are other relationships where the woman is the head of the household, and she runs things in those, she deals with the finances, she deals with the security, she deals with the childcare, she deals with everything. That's all good and that's proper. That's good for them. I don't think if you were to say, Stavros, is there a right and wrong? I would say, yeah, there's a right and wrong, and I don't think that's right. It could be right for them, but generally, it's not right.
All right, because I would say that it's the most capable person should be the head of the house. I still think there should be a head of a house. Yeah, I agree with you on all of the terms and what you're saying and blah blah blah, and definitely with what Mr. Wolf was saying, that they can't have two heads, blah blah blah. I agree with that, but I think the most capable person should be the head of the house, and I think at times that can even change, because you could be a man, you could be the head of a house, and you can have a stroke, any injury or something tomorrow. That means you're incapable of making those decisions that you're saying that you're making it. But you can't make the decisions anymore.
If a captain gets incapacitated, and then the co-pilot has to take over, let's say it's a plane or something, that man is still the captain. You don't say he ceases being a captain.
Yes, you do.
No, you just say that the pilot is now. Well, I'm saying pilot and captain like the same thing.
Captain.
Yeah. Well, if
the person retires, because that's what you're potentially doing.
No, I'm talking about on the job. We're flying a plane at the moment. I have a heart attack and I'm out of commission. I can't do it. The co-pilot takes over. Yeah, but you're the co-pilot. You will always be the co-pilot. You can run the things. You can do what I can do, but you're the co-pilot. So, Webbs, what is it you want to bring to this conversation?
It's changed in society over the years. If you're looking at the old-fashioned way, then yes, the man is the head of the house. Depending on your relationship and the dynamic of the relationship, there are two partners, and two partners run the house. One partner may run things more than the other, but you're both making equal decisions. You bring it to the table, you discuss, babe, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And then you take it from there. There is a head, but there isn't really one head. It's like what do you call it? A snake that has two heads. So you both make the decisions based on fact, based on actuality, based on things that can be done. I do believe a man can nurture a child up to a certain point. There are things men can't do. Men cannot breastfeed, essentially. But there are, apart from Wahala, but there are things that a man can do just as well as a woman and vice versa.
Sweat milk.
So in that respect, you both can be the head of the house.
So
Okay,
so in your house, you're gonna co-head the house, because I don't think you can have two heads. There's a bit of advice. Sorry, Mr. Wolf.
It's a partnership.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
I'm not disagreeing with partnership. I never said there shouldn't be a partnership. Of course, it's
I know where you're
partnership.
going with this.
But my father said in series 1 of ESN, in one of the episodes he was in, and he said, when you are having discussions and stuff in your relationship, somebody always has to give up some of the power. He said, if two cars are going towards each other and they both have their beams on, they will crash. Somebody has to put the beam down.
And that's
Dim
and that's,
their
and
light.
that's,
Yeah,
and that's
so
where
that's
I'm
dim their light.
that's where I'm gonna come in. Hold your thoughts, Simple Simon, 'cause I know you got something. If you have 11 decisions to make, yeah, and you agree on 5 each, and the final decision you cannot agree on, which decision are you going with? Number one. And then second to that, with relation to what Stavros was talking about, do you know what film came to my head?
Nope.
300.
That has been in my mind this whole time.
300, you see?
I love the scene that he's about to talk about.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
I mean, if you haven't watched 300, then I'm just gonna kind of spoil it a little bit for you. But at the beginning, when the man comes to say that the King of Kings wants to take your great army, and he wants you to join the army, but he keeps the land or something along those lines.
Just before you continue, for people that haven't seen it, there's a conquering army that's going around Europe and taking over land over land over land. And now they've come to a part of Greece.
The Persian army.
Yeah, the Persian army. And they've come to a part of Greece, and they've met the king of this section of Greece. Mm-hmm. And they've told him what Mr. Wolf just said. We want to take over your piece of land. We'll allow you to rule, by proxy, but we'll be the head. And then speak on the rest of it.
Yeah, so basically he comes in and you've got the King Leonidas. This is one of the greatest films, by the way. He is basically faced with a decision that he has to make. He's faced with a decision and he's thinking to himself, boy. Furthermore, the guy says to him, be careful what you say, because this may be your last
act as king.
King, something like that. So from when he says that, he's thinking, oh shit.
The threat is either you allow us to rule you, or we're going to kill all of you and rule you anyways.
So his decision is, okay, do I submit to these people, or do I fight for my land and for my family? And he, I think the directing's done really well, slow motion effects, and you can see that he's thinking. But before he actually makes his decision, what does he do, Steph?
He turns around and looks at his wife.
And it's almost as if she makes the decision for him.
It's like they're in tune mentally,
Telepathy.
And she just nods.
But
like, I know what you're thinking, and I co-sign your decision.
Yeah.
That's a partnership.
And that's a partnership. Now, the thing is that she can't make the decision. He makes the decision. Do you understand? So he's the one that actually sanctions us going to war.
Subconsciously, who made the decision?
She made the decision. But he's the head of the house. And he's the one that will open his mouth and sign the check and say, listen, I'm going forth and we're going to do this. Simple Simon, quickly.
I'm rolling back. I'm saying that she didn't make the decision. I'm saying that he had already made the decision in his mind.
She's co-signing.
And the only reason why he looked at her is to see whether or not she co-signed it. It could have been quite possible that she said no and he still did it anyway.
Yes. And then going back a little bit further, the 11th decision out of the 5 that you both agree with, who do you go with? Who is the person that takes the hand there? Because my thing is that if you are in a relationship that makes sense, one, you're not going to be with a partner that's going to make stupid decisions. It's just a decision where you're and ahhing. It's not going to be such a far-fetched idea that you go with either one, but you're both not backing down.
it may always be the case of how important that decision is. Can it be a decision we can live without making? Do we come
It
to a
has to be made.
compromise on the decision? If it has to be made, then the stronger argument wins.
I'm always gonna go. Stavros is always gonna look to his parents, and I always say that I think they've sent a good blueprint in what a cohabiting parenthood should be. This partnership, and what you'll have is that situation. 5 will go for my mum, and 5 will go for my dad, and they will dispute that 11th decision. And me, as an outsider looking in, I will not be able to tell you who's gonna win that dispute, because on Monday it will be my mum who will concede and say, you know what, you do it. And on Wednesday, it will be my dad that will concede, you know what, you do it. Because it flip-flops, and it's basically, who is it more important to? Who knows more about this decision? You know, why are we disputing it in the first place? And then it will go from case to case, and one of them will concede at one point. It's not that one person has an anatomy and just runs over it.
It's fair enough.
That's wrong. That's not a partnership.
That's
That's a
stronger argument
dictatorship.
winning, right?
No. That's what I just said. In each case is dealt with in each case.
Yeah, I think I'm with that. To be honest, I'll probably. It depends on whether or not I really, really care about this thing. If it's something that I think I care less than she does, it's most likely I'll let her have that decision.
You know, there was one film.
Let
Quickly,
her.
let her.
Yeah, because you're
there
having a debate whether or not
Yeah.
one of them others going to do it. So I won't argue over any further. Then,
Do you remember the film Barbershop?
Yeah.
You remember the part where he is looking to sell his barbershop and his wife is thinking, hold on, what are you doing? This is your family business. Don't do this. And he wants to pursue a music career, innit? You know, and they're going back and forth with their argument. And at the end, she says to him, I don't agree with it, but because you're the man of the house, I'm going to back you 100%. And I found a lot of pleasure listening to that conversation and listening to that debate, because I swear down.
If you
it's
could see
something-
his face, he looked like he felt pleasure.
He
I did.
creamed his pant. When
You know what I mean? I found a lot of pleasure. But the thing is what is really important is that if it doesn't work out, is the reaction of his woman. Is she going to be like, yeah, I told you so, you should have listened to me? Or is she going to pick him up and say, look, you made a decision, it didn't work, we're going to go again? And that's really important.
That's what you need from both sides.
Both sides.
All right, and that brings us to the end of episode 16 of Eloquently Saying Nothing. Let's go around, do the church notes, and get out of here. Simple Simon, what you got to say?
At Simple Simon FB on Twitter. That is probably the main place that you will find me talking. And enjoy your week, people. I hope you enjoy this episode of this thing. Yeah, and it's good.
I like that one.
Big Wahala.
At Big Wahala on Twitter, at Big Wahala on Insta. Follow me, see me, interact with me. Let me know what you feel about some of the questions that we've asked, some of the answers. You know, it'll be great to hear from some of our listeners.
Mr. Wolf.
It's Yemi online, Twitter, and Yemi's Instagram. Finally got it. Although I'm looking at the thing.
You look like an old person that has to push the phone away from their eyes to be able to see what you're saying.
Yeah, no, it's a bit bright. Yeah, so Yemi's Insta and Instagram. Catch me on that. It's Yemi online on Twitter. I'm going to try my best to be a little bit more active on Twitter. And catch me on Facebook. You can find me via our Facebook mediums.
Cash me outside, bitch.
How do you spell Yemi, by the way? And for the people that don't know.
Yankee Echo Mike India.
Okay. Webslinger.
YEMI for those that don't know the phonetics. Phonetics.
Webs.
Yeah, it's your boy Webbs. You can catch him on Twitter, and his accomplice, that actor, is on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Tourette's.
Check. Pussy.
I am Stavros Boss, and you can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere, and catch us collectively at ESN Podcast on Insta and Twitter, and on Facebook you can catch us facebook.com/ESN Podcast with an S. We are on all formats, and you can email us questions esnpodcast@gmail.com.
Check us out on YouTube, man. Subscribe us on YouTube as well. ESN Podcast is there.
Yeah, subscribe to us. We need 10,000 subscribers before we can start making money on YouTube. We want to do an Arsenal fan TV business here. Reckon some money, please. Let us reckon some money. So, yeah, that's as well.
Cash me outside, bitch.
Cash me outside.
Go on.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy Marzi Corbin. He's having an exhibition called Welcome to the Tribe from the 29th of April to the 5th of May. Catch it, check it, come down and see it. It'll be at the Hive in Dalston. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I tweeted that, so check out Stavros' Twitter. I've tweeted that. I'll tweet it again.
You know that Cash Me Outside girl's like nearly on a million now.
Yep.
Okay, just want to share that. Anyway,
Yeah, and this is why I'm saying this is the destruction of relationships when Cash Me Outside. How old is she again?
14.
14. Good grief. Save your children. Save your children. Peace.
Happy Easter.
If you ain't saying nothing, say it well.
Slag for life.
What's it?
Check.
yeah, she's out there.
Who is this woman?
Oh, this girl.
So she was on one of these really kind of TV shows.
Oh yeah. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
So she's just a white girl.
From that, she's making peace.
But
She's got songs. She's gonna be.
What's wrong with
Well,
this?
the fact we're all saying.
No, but what's wrong with this? For me, is that
Never seen it, don't know.
how many? Again, I'm sorry, I have to see the racist side of it. How many black girls talk? And we don't see any. You get me? They don't see any money from it. This girl says it.
No, there's some people that's had these